London. The original power duo fighting for Ukraine is now gone, with Ben Wallace leaving his post as UK Defense Minister on Thursday, while Boris Johnson gained grudging respect around the world for his quick response to the Russian invasion and his friendship with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Johnson's old friend Wallace was likewise praised for standing right behind him and doing most of errands. Now appointed to replace Wallace at the Department of Defense, Grant Shapps must show that he is just as strong. Shapps is a well-established figure at the pinnacle of British politics, but still a surprise choice for Defence Minister. The former Trade and Energy Minister is also one of 3 ministers with no military experience to hold the UK's top defence post in the past 13 years. At the same time, Shapps' close commitment to Rishi Sunak and his extensive relations with Ukraine signal a cautious message of continuity. Shapps was actively involved in the Ukraine conflict and framed her previous roles in energy and business as being quite extrovert, said Sophia Gaston, head of foreign policy at the policy exchange think tank Military Foreign. As Shapps takes reins at the Department of Defense, he will need to show agility and intelligence if he is to emerge from long shadow of his predecessor. Along with Johnson, Wallace made a name for himself on the domestic and international stage as a staunch supporter of the Ukraine cause. Ukraine's Defense Minister Oleksii Reznikov, commemorating his outgoing rival, said Wallace's energy and determination allowed the most daring plans to be realized and ensured that critically needed resources were mobilized at the right moments. Ukraine's reputation as an advocate helped Wallace top the ministry rankings among Tory Party members, with a net satisfaction rate of 77% in the most recent ConservativeHome poll. By contrast, Shapps remained at just 3%. Tory MP Mark Francois, a former defence secretary on the party's right, has made clear the skepticism of some lawmakers, telling GB News that Wallace would be an incredibly difficult move to follow and a very steep learning curve for Grant Shapps. But others say Shapps will be complemented by a ministry team, 3 of which are veterans. Aide Arnold, a research fellow in European security at the defense think tank RUSI, argued that Shapps' civilian background would be less of an issue than his tendency to skip jobs around Whitehall. What people are surprised by is the fact that this is his appointment as the 5th Secretary of State in less than a year, Arnold said. His proven ability to manage a large department is questionable, despite being relatively new to world scene. The Allies argue that Shapps has qualities to replace Wallace. A former British government aide working with Shapps said he has really deep feelings about Ukraine, noting that he hosted a refugee family in his home last year and that his Jewish ancestry came t.